Well. Hello, everybody. Hello, boys. How are you guys doing? And the reason why I need to be super polite and not say anything bad is because YouTube in English, the moment you say any bad words whatsoever, like motherfucker, cock, balls, asshole, vulva, anything that is bad, they demonetize the video. And what am I going to do without the $25 that YouTube has to offer me? So I'm just going to start talking like a very proper person, just so you guys know. If you see like, oh, what happened to Alejandro? He used to be, you know, uh, less educated. He used to be ruder. He used to be bigger piece of shit. Not anymore. Now it's me. I censor the way that I talk because I need those $25. So, how are you guys doing? Happy 4th of July, by the way, everybody in the United States. Today, we celebrate a big holiday in the United States. For those of you who are outside of the United States and don't know this, today's our Independence Day. We celebrate the day that Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith saved us from the aliens, united the entire world together, and we won that battle against those foreign enemies. We completely independently beat them, and we independentized. Is that a real word? We basically are just independent from being killed by the aliens. So, thank you, Will. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you to Dennis Quaid's brother. I can't remember what your name is. Danny Quaid. Thank you, Danny Quaid, for sacrificing your life and going into the blue beam and blowing up the mothership. And then we found out how to destroy all of the other ships. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I think that's enough for the holiday and rich American history lesson. I think we can get started talking about cars, yo. So today I want to talk to you guys, and the reason why my McLaren, my 765 LT, my beloved 765 LT is right. Oh, and I'm wearing this too. Well, it's racing weekend, right? And as much as I am a Mercedes fan, this motherfucker's I'm his biggest fan, so and supporter. So here we are wearing the McLaren livery, but for IndyCar, we're a little, I'm not gonna say cheap, because no, this is expensive. But yeah, it's not Formula One McLaren support. Although I'm hoping that Lando and Oscar have a great weekend in Silverstone this weekend. Should be a great race, by the way. Great race, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. So get up early, let's watch it, and then you'll see me drive my Plaid like I'm a fucking maniac. So damn it, they're gonna demonetize this video. What am I gonna do, guys? Please. You've seen the comments. I am very poor. If you can send me some money in any way, shape, or form, your sister, whatever you can, send it over. We'll receive it with open arms, unless your sister is like super fat. Then it'll be super open arms so that I can hug her properly. Uh, wow, I'm losing my fucking mind right now. Either way, I wanted to talk to you guys because I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. And this is a problem that I've had now for a couple of years. And, you know, as a kid, I always dreamed about getting a supercar, always. And I always wanted a Lamborghini, not a Ferrari. And the reason why was because of that Dumb and Dumber movie with Jim Carrey, when he goes and gets into that delicious Lambo from the past with Jeff Daniels. They buy the Lambo, they write the IOU, they show up to the hotel looking ridiculous. I always thought I can be that guy. I'm a moron. And hopefully one day I can have money and be a moron with a Lamborghini. And I did it. I did it, and it was great. So for a long time, just like anybody else, I dreamed about, like, you know, going places, people noticing you and recognizing you and being like, wow, I can't believe I know this guy, right? Like, I thought that was super cool. Even when I moved to New York, I went to New York, and in the middle of it, I wanted to become an actor. Before that, I already had some of that. And the reason why is I love making people laugh. There's nothing I enjoy more. And also, I think no, I'm not a pretty good actor. But I think I can make you guys laugh. Either way. So going through the years and wanting that, grew up, got the money. And the one thing I noticed right away when I had my Lambo, I was meeting a lot of people who were like, dude, do you want to come to this event? Do you want to go to this rally? Do you want to do this? And I didn't know anyone in the car world. And at the same time, I didn't have any time. I was making 3 movies a year. And for anyone that works in movies, you know that that's a grueling, brutal schedule. And I was the producer in all of them. So I had to do everything from beginning all the way to end, hire everybody, come up with the concepts, pitch him to the everything, be the post-production supervisor, deliver the movie perfectly done according to spec. So I was always busy. And this is the reason why I originally retired, right? My wife was like, we have all these things and we never do anything. I was like, all right, sweetie, let me retire. And then she hated that I was at home, that I was home all day. She noticed that it's fine to have some space. But no, I had a great time doing that. And then eventually we got our money up. We our real estate started to pay like crazy, and started to make the right moves in some things that we were doing. Movies were doing really great too. And I was able to buy myself some crazy cars. And I think that was me at my youngest, and I loved it, and every single time was great. But I also remember taking out the Raptor S, for example, which is the Raptor that I made look like a Rolls Royce with Galpin, so we could take it to Car Week and all these other places, and it was just so much fun. It was it was incredible, and I remember just thinking every time I got in the Raptor, wow, I don't want to drive anything else. And right now I have my Cybertruck, and I'm really happy with it. Right, like I really love that thing. I think it's one of the best cars today. I'm not going to say the best car ever, but for me, it's one of the greatest cars I've ever had. It's so much fun. It's great. It's fast. It drives excellent. The sound system is amazing. It's so comfortable. I can set everything up on my phone, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm in this weird place where I'm looking at my LT, and there are so many places that I go, right? Like every day I go at least somewhere to eat or and smoke hookah. So every day I look at my LT and I'm like, "Oh, today I'm going to take the Cybertruck, and at least I make myself once a week take my LT. Don't worry, this is not a I'm selling the LT video. This is not that, not at all, not at all. I see Tom Ford's telling me to make a car movie. I kind of did. It's called Hyper Five, and then another thing called Banging Gears. It was fun, um, but either way. Uh, this is not a I'm selling my car video. This is more of a I'm getting old. Is this happening to anybody else? Like, whereas I just feel like it's so much easier just to get on my truck. I don't want anyone bothering me. And yeah, it was a dream of mine to be recognized when I was a kid. I feel like we all have that kind of feeling when we're younger. Like we're taught that fame and recognition is great. So for me at first was like with the cars. I showed up anywhere and he was like, "Oh, that's the guy with a Lambo," right? Like everybody knew that. And I remember walking into restaurants and I was like, "Fuck!" As soon as I walk into the restaurant, they have no idea that I'm the guy with the Lambo and they treat me like shit. What am I gonna do? Then YouTube eventually really took off, and I walked into the restaurant, and it was worse just showing up than showing up with the Lambo, because it was cool. People recognized me. Although I gotta say, it's really nice in Mexico. People in Mexico, when I go to nice restaurants or any restaurant, not all the time, but a lot of the times, someone will recognize me there and they'll pay the bill, which is the only advantage this thing has. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's the only advantage this thing has. And it was great. And at some point, I also got bored and tired of that, because that's not really, I thought I liked that, but I don't like it. Either way, I'm not going to bore you with this. So with the cars, I kind of got tired because now that's combined with me. I go somewhere, I take the car, people want to talk to me about the car, and I don't want to talk to them about the car. I became like, and I don't know how many of you guys did, but through the pandemic, I became one of those antisocial people. I don't know. I don't like, it's not like I go somewhere and I avoid talking to people, but I don't want to see a lot of people. I don't care for it. I think it's very fun to do what I do every single day and all of the shit that I'm getting into and whatnot, and talking to a bunch of people online. I think that's fun. I see my wife, I see her friends, I see like the people that we work with, all that stuff. But not really a big fan of going out there and like before. Not a fan like that anymore. Um, Either way, so now I'm getting kind of bored and tired of that. And I feel like that's part of it, but I feel like I'm also old. I also feel like there's some kind of accomplishment that lives within me that goes like, I don't need that anymore. Although I gotta say that 765 LT, one of my top three favorite cars I've ever had, as far as driving goes. I adore it. I really do. I really do. Every time I drive it, I know how lucky I am that I'm able to live the life that I have and to enjoy it at the level that I do. But also, I feel a little shallow in a sense, like the pandemic fucked me up in that sense. That's why I also got rid of a lot of my cars. Was there was a lot of people not having a great time, and I was just there having a blast. And a lot of people don't understand this too. when they ask me, why are you not doing the same thing that you were doing before? I always change the stuff that I do. I've always been like that. But most importantly was during the pandemic, uh, I got a little sad seeing how fucked up everybody was, not doing great, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, whatever it was. I have a few friends that sadly killed themselves too. And I just had like all these cars and I put so much value into them and they were just catching dust and not doing anything. And I was like, this is something I don't want. I don't need this. So I made myself the promise. We're just gonna be, in a way, less of that and just more of a person. Like there's no need for all of this shit. What are you looking for? And the other thing is, I changed the way I work. I don't, I literally don't work, which is fantastic. Being able, like, to me, it was a dream to be able to just live off my shit. And it's great. At the same time, like I said yesterday or whenever we were talking about it, I want to do more things and I want some structure because I want to get back into being my best self and just like killing it, but not so much like financially, just killing it, killing the game, like being on top of my shit at a different level. I want people to look at me like they did before, in the sense of like working with me. When you work with me, you're fucking working with an animal. And that's what I want to get back to. Even though a lot of people hate it because I am a bossy ass motherfucker. Like when I used to make movies, I never became friends with the actors. It was like one of my techniques. And the reason why was I wanted to show up, and for them, when they saw me coming over, they knew that they were in deep shit. Because otherwise, these fucking divas just do whatever the fuck they want. And that translates, that also caused me a lot of problems with the guys that I was doing the other shows with, right? Where they thought, we're all partners in this together. Why are you telling me what to do? And why are you telling me what to do with such a bad attitude? Because I don't have time to fucking play around. I've one switch and it goes two ways, on and off. And when you turn me on, when you turn me on, when you turn it on, when you flip that switch on, I am a fucking monster and I will not relent until I get everything I need to do done, completed, finished. And I know I'm the only one that's going to be able to push everyone forward because I did it for 10 years making movies. I did it in the construction projects that I worked on. I did it in the tech projects that I did. I am that guy. And not in a great way. It's a bad thing, but at the same time, if you really want to be a boss, you kind of have to be an asshole. And I hated it. Hated it for a long time. But it is what it is. So I'm back to my bullshit. Now what I do is I figure out a way of being able to be aggressive, but without scaring people. That's what I figured in my work life. So either way, I don't know why I'm telling you that. What I was saying was about the car. I'm just getting to an age because I'm so old. This is why I'm Salo Biden. You guys can see it here. That's how old I am. Salo Biden, fucking old as shit. Don't even know what he's saying anymore. And the reason why I say this is I met a friend of mine when I lived in Hidden Hills. And I met him. He was actually driving a tractor in that empty green field in front of my house. And he was like cleaning up the hill. So I went out there, I would see him, and he was there almost every day. So one day I'm driving in, he sees my car and he stops, he gets out of his tractor and comes in. At this point, by the way, I know for a fact this man is well off, right? He's not just some random dude that works in construction. You can tell it's a different vibe. And the guy comes over to the house and goes, "You like cars, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I love cars." And he goes, can I see what you have in the garage?" I was like, "Yeah." So I walked him in, showed him everything. This is an older dude. He already passed away. He passed away like oh no, like 2 years ago. I thought it was 4 years ago, like 2 years ago. Either way. Um, uh, so I bring him in. We start looking at the cars. I had the Carrera GT at the time in the garage, the LT, all of these cars. And I thought, this guy's probably really impressed at what he's looking at. And I'm like, yeah, this is a Courier GT. This is how much it costs. So I finish. He lets me finish all of my bullshit. And after I'm done, I'm like, do you like cars? Do you have any cool cars? And he goes, yeah, I used to. Not anymore. And I'm like, why not? He goes, you get older, you start appreciating other things. And long story short, basically, my guy had millions of dollars worth of tractors. He just really liked to work on them. That's it, work on them. He was a multi-billionaire, and he had it all. He basically fucking had it all. And I would see him every day in his Nissan pickup truck and his tractors. And he told me, one day you're going to feel like I am. Maybe you're going to be very old, just like me. And you're going to feel like you don't need these things. And I was like, what kind of fucking fucked up shit is that? You're telling me I don't need these things? I don't need these things to make me cool. I am cool, sir. I was like, legitimately, I don't need these things. And he goes, no, you need them. One day you'll realize what I'm telling you. And I got to that day pretty quickly. Pretty damn quickly. Mike was so freaking right about that. Whereas before, I think there was a big part of me that pushed me because I liked, like, again, the El Mame, the show, the flash and dash. And I don't anymore. I don't. So I'm struggling right now. I even started thinking, should I just, and by the way, this is how stupid I am. This is how fucking stupid I am, everyone. I was thinking to myself, should I just say fuck it and go get a Ghost? Like a brand new Rolls Royce? I'm like, how is that going to make your life better too? How is that going to make your life better too? Like, you're still doing the same thing. And the other thing I thought was, all right, if I'm getting a Ghost, a brand new Ghost, I'm going to need something like daily because I don't want to take that everywhere. I don't want people, because everywhere I go to, this is another thing that I do. I show up with the different cars, and then people go, what the fuck do you do? They look me up, and then eventually I find out that they know what a fucking joke I am, and it's kind of weird. So I was thinking, I don't want to have that anymore. So I'm just going to get a Model 3 Performance, or I can keep my Model S Plaid, but I think I want the new, so I'll buy a Model 3 Performance. And then I thought to myself, what the fuck am I doing? I already have that kind of like setup. Just keep everything the way it is. So I'm keeping everything the way it is. I'm just pouring my heart out to you guys. Do you guys have this happen to you? I don't know how many of you guys are old or not, how many of you guys go through this or not, but I do. I just find it interesting because it used to be such a cool like badge of honor that I had and I put on and I enjoyed for so long that it's like that allure, that sexiness, that appeal has gone away. I want to feel how you guys feel about that. Do you think you would ever get there? Have you gotten there? Why? How? With what? Because it can affect many different things, right? To me, I was always not ashamed, but I was like, I felt incomplete. I'm sorry that this is like an episode about like like my own personal problems. By the way, I just turn on the camera and I just start talking. So I apologize. I apologize for just pouring my heart out. What was I saying? Damn it! See, Salo Biden, huh? I just froze. So I was asking you guys if you feel like that about anything like that whatsoever, and that I liked it a lot. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Things change. People change. You change. Your tasting things change. Oh, I was saying I wasn't very proud of. Basically, I didn't feel complete with everything I had done at this point with my life. Not because of the money. The money is great, but I didn't have like, yeah, it's cool you made your money in real estate. Yeah, it's cool you made your money making movies. Yeah, it's cool you sold some cars, made some money, and that set you up. Yeah, it's cool you did that. But I didn't have anything that people could just walk into a store and get, which took me to all the other crap and all of the other roads that I took, right? So that I could have all these things. And I guess in a way, those are my cars now. Like, look at me. You walk into a fucking store anywhere in Mexico and you'll find my water, right? Like, that's cool. Now I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to sell digital products because selling something in stores takes so long. Like this shit, just making the bottle, bottling the water, bringing it from the spring all the way to the factory, making it go through the everything. Between me creating that process, packaging, putting it in pallets, sending it to distribution centers sending it to stores, stores putting it on the shelves or in the fridges, then a person shows up, buys it, and then the store paying me back. I'm talking about 6 months. Like, I want shit that's digital. I don't want everybody to know who I don't care about that anymore. So it goes one by one. And yeah, so I try to do all these different things for a long time, and I feel very accomplished now. But at the same time, it's like, what's next? What's next now? So what's next is just that I'm working like crazy in other things so that I can get back to my extra point and just do other things so that I can change in 3 years and completely be different. I don't know why that's the case. It feels like I've lived a lot of lives, but I like it. I enjoy it. And I hope that you guys can take some of this too and enjoy it. The one thing I'll say is, the one thing I want to say, and this is something I was talking to Belen, it's completely different from what we were just discussing. So get ready. This is a, how would my lawyer say? Andy was, oh, we're gear switching. We're gear switching right now. So we're going into another thing. But I go running. I love running. I love walking. And also I have a back problem that doesn't allow me to sit down for a long time. So I was sitting at the doctor yesterday. No, well, I was there yesterday, but I had to go originally a week ago because I was dying. I couldn't sleep. My back was killing me. My hips were killing me, etc. And it's just I have a back problem that turned into a knee problem that turned into a hip problem. That's just all this. Everything's fucked up basically because I'm old. I'm Salo Biden. Never forget. So I'm old. And I went to the doctor and she was asking me, she goes, so is everything okay? What do you do every day to like make you feel like make yourself feel better about this? Because you have like this back pain. And I said, all I need to do is just walk around. And she goes, yeah, but like, do you walk around in your house? I'm like, no. She's like, how much are you walking? I'm like, 12 to 15 miles a day. She goes, what? Just walking? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? I'm like, because it hurts when I just sit still. Like if I'm sitting right now, this shit hurts. So I need to get up and start moving around so that it doesn't hurt and can get warm and feel better. She goes, how long have you been doing this? So I looked at my calendar and I told her it's been months. And she goes, are you not exhausted? I'm like, I'm fucking destroyed. I can't do it anymore, but I'm still going to do it because it's the only way that it doesn't hurt. She's like, let me help you, whatever. So she fixed me and I'm much better. Now I can sleep and all that stuff. Whatever. Salo Biden, Salo old. Don't ever forget. The reason why I'm telling you this is I go on those walks and I'm seeing a lot of people because I live in a gated community, but I not only walk the gated community, I also walk outside on top and at the bottom, right? Both sides. Because if I'm going to cover 12 to 15 miles a day, you have to go far. And it takes me about 4 hours to cover 15 miles. Like it's pretty good. I don't do it like leisurely. I go with a pace and I use it also as a workout. So while I'm doing this, I started to notice, and I want you guys to pay attention to this. Every time I get to a crosswalk, and there's a stop sign, the moment you stop, the moment that I see a car stopping in front of me or right next to me, I see this. What is wrong with people? This is how old I am. Salo Biden. Very old. Remember that. This is how old I am. What is wrong with people? Dude, first of all, if I'm somewhere with people, I try not to look at my phone. I made it a point years ago because of the Instagram thing. I actually got mad at the whole social media thing when I went to a couple parties back to back, 20, and I wouldn't pull my phone out. And people were like, why are you not taking your phone out and tagging us? I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me to tag you? Is this a free service? Like, what the fuck is going on? And people complaining about that was so pathetic in my view, whatever. But now I'm seeing everyone at a stop sign, forget about a red light, at a stop sign, pulling out their phone, dude. What the fuck are they doing? What can you do at a stop sign just real quick? What have you guys noticed that? That's kind of worrisome. And there's a lot of people driving that can't drive. I want to say that I'm a good driver. I'm sure I feel like I'm a better driver than what I am, but I'm an okay driver. In 20 years, I've had one accident, which was with my McLaren, and that's the thumbnail of this picture, sadly. Uh, and by the way, I was going no miles an hour, none. I was stopped. I just forgot that in a McLaren, if you're in a downhill, you need to press the brake really hard. And if not, the car rolls because I'm used to the Teslas and all this shit. So obviously, my car rolled into another car. And because the other car was an SUV, my car went underneath it, just super slow motion, nothing but some scraps, but still annoying. But I pay a lot of attention when I'm on the road, aside from that one time, because I'm an idiot. Um, and even when I find myself when I'm driving, I see a lot of people swerving, and then you get next to them to see. You always want to see, right? Like you show up driving, you're like, "Mm," and you have to look at the person to understand what a retarded or a mentally challenged person looks like. That's normally what goes through my head. And most of the time, it's just people on their phone. Like I said, I consider myself a good driver. I don't get on my phone because I can't do it. I can't drive and text at the same time. I can't drive and look at my phone at the same time. What are these fucking people doing? This is how old I am. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It feels a little too old for me. Feels a little too old for me. Either way, wait a second. This is the first time seeing my gray hair? No, I have plenty. I have like on this side, beard, just a little bit. It's not too bad. Honestly, I'm 39 years old. I'm 39 years old. I don't understand. Are you getting old? Nah, wiser, my friend. I think I'm just getting old. I don't think if you guys watch these videos, you'll know that I'm not getting any smarter. Uh, I watch your last video and buy Fisker share immediately. Man, I can't believe it's so cheap. Do not buy Jay. No, bad Jay. Bad Jay. How old was I when I started making movies? Dude, I was young. I was like 20, something like that. And remember, you don't start with the big movies. You start with like little fucking stupid shorts and working for a TV show and doing these things. It's just interesting. Macro PC Mac, dude. I fuck Bill Gates and his PCs and all of his products. Not for anything. Forget about the conspiracy and the vaccine and all that stuff. I don't give a shit about that. The PC products, the Windows products have been so bad, Microsoft products for so long. Now they're good. Now people look at them like a good company, but they were shit for like a decade. Like absolute shit. Tom, I'm so jealous. I'm going to go do it right now. Bruno, you fucking know it, baby. You know it. Salo Biden. I'm glad you guys like that. You guys like that. What do you think about Newey to Aston rumors? What are your thoughts on Alonso? I love you, broke old man. Thank you so much, Nemus. So I'll tell you this. One, I love Alonso. I think he's an excellent driver. I at first, when I saw him, because he was racing in the Indy 500 and he was racing with Pato in the same team, and I saw that Pato would mop the floor with him, I was like, dude, this guy is done. Like, why is he going back to Formula One? His first year in Formula One with Alpine was terrible. Terrible. And I kept talking shit about him. And I got to say, second year, he proved me wrong. And I ate my words. I put my shoe in my foot in my mouth. And I said, Alonso's sick. Like he's with it. He's killing it. Now, is Newey going to go to Aston Martin? Absolutely not. You guys have to understand, when you're a respectable figure and you really want to do something cool, this is something that I called also years ago. I said, Aston Martin looks like it's going to surprise this year, but I guarantee you they will not win. And the reason why is because Lawrence Stroll, Daddy Stroll, is just like Jerry Jones, if you like football. And his ego is so big, he's not going to hire the right people. He's going to hire the people that say, yes, sir, yes, sir. And that's what he's done. So Adrian Newey is not an idiot. He's not going to go work with Lawrence Stroll just because Lawrence Stroll has money. By the way, Toto Wolff has the same or more money, right? Like, I don't understand why we know as Lawrence Stroll as the rich guy in Formula One. Ferrari has way more money than that dude altogether, the Elkan family and all of those guys. So I don't fully understand why this reputation of like a billionaire bad boy precedes him. He's not very good at it. He's good with the branding. I'll give him that. He's a terrible executor as far as cars go, in my view, and businesses go. Outside of whatever made him rich, I think he's terrible, like fucking god honest terrible. And the proof that he's just not 100% into making the team better is that his son's still there and he fucking sucks dick. With all due respect, Lance, you do suck dick. I'm sure someone's told you this before, and he, probably not because you're very rich, but he does suck dick. And I don't mean it in a homosexual way. I mean in like he sucks type of way, you know, like why is he in your team? Like, would you keep Logan Sargent in your team? No, it's just like his daddy bought the team for him, and it's like, go play, my child. That doesn't show business. When you are Adrian Newey, you don't want to go to a place where they're going to pay you a lot of money. Adrian Newey doesn't give a fuck about money. Adrian Newey has all the money in the world. He's been making $10 million forever. A year, forever. He can do whatever he wants. So he's going to go, most likely, my view, to Ferrari, because that will allow him to get legacy going. That will allow him to become like a Pininfarina in supercars that we all use. That's fucking epic. I don't think, like, what is he going to go to Aston Martin and then what? Build a supercar? How's the Valhalla doing? Because you know what? I wanted to order one when they came out. Still, they're not even fucking in pre-production. Nothing. Like nothing. That Valhalla, like when the fuck is that going to come out? So, man. Oh, I've been enjoying building a garden instead. I got to say, gardening is pretty relaxing. I love it. Electrolyte is the best drink for hangovers. I agree. They're fucking phenomenal at it. Let's see. If I had $250,000, what car would I buy? It depends. If I want to get something really nice and comfy, I'd buy either a Porsche Turbo S, I'd buy a Targa, a Porsche Targa, and if I want something raw, hardcore, I'd get a GT4 RS. That's what I would spend $250,000 on instantly. I was really considering that. And why not a GT3 instead of the 4RS? Simple. I just feel that the GT3 is too common. I feel like the 3R, like the GT4 RS, if I'm getting that, it's just going to be too much. And I like too much. I like if I'm buying a car to get tired of it, I better fucking get tired of it. And I think the 4RS does that. Do you think the next gen 911 GT3 is going to remain naturally aspirated, considering they announced the new standard powertrain for the 911 is now hybrid? But how can it be? Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know, man. I think everything is going to go electric. I think everything is going to be at least a hybrid. And I know that we talk a lot about synthetic fuels, but those are not working. I just haven't seen any examples of those becoming mainstream. And also remember, policy around the world is to go green with sustainable energy instead of nuclear energy. So that goes against like basic principles of government around the world and interest, private interest. Hey, Alejandro, what caused Rivian stock to crash in 2022? In 2022, it was that they were burning too much cash. They were not selling enough cars. People got desperate because their numbers weren't crazy good. They wanted to see them kind of like scale like Tesla and instantly become profitable, and they weren't. And they had to do, they had to basically just sell more shares. And when you sell more shares, you dilute the stock price, or at least the current price, and that's what made the crash. You still miss living in Austin? I do. Help me, I can't stop driving my 992. I used to be like that, so I understand also the excitement for it. I do. That's incredible. Dude, what? 30,000 kilometers a year? That's pretty good. Oh, 30,000 miles a year. That's really good. Do you think the astronaut Salo Biden, please? Do you? They're gonna fucking cancel me, guys. And I gotta say, who are they gonna call to fire me? My boss? Which one is that one? Do you think the Aston Martin Valkyrie has kind of failed? I think I'll be very honest with you. I think the Valkyrie and the AMG One are the two single largest flops in the universe of like hypercars. The cars just don't work well. They don't. You require like a team to run them. It's not simple. Every time you take them out, they seem to have problems, or for the most part, they do. For replacing the engine and all that shit on the AMG One seems like absolutely insane. The 21,000 kilometers deserves a new engine. I understand that you're putting a Formula One like engine in the car, powertrain at least. But you remember when we made Hyper 5? I'm going to be a little selfish and just talk about me because I made Hyper 5. I'm done. By the way, I'm done sharing fucking credit with people. Then they think they did everything, blah, blah, blah. And then they go crazy. When I made Hyper 5 and I put the 918 P1 and LaFerrari against each other, I'm sorry, I keep scratching my nose. I need to shave the hairs that I have coming out of it in my mustache. It's fucking driving me crazy. When I made that video and I used those cars worked flawlessly. We had no problems whatsoever. I know that certain LaFerraris had battery problems, and I know that P1s had battery problems. And I even had a 918 that we had to replace the motors because it sat at a dealership too long. But when the cars were running, we're perfectly fine. We didn't need anybody else. And I thought that was like the peak of hypercars. I don't think we've seen that yet again. And it's been over 10 years now. So I hope that they come out with some better. I've lost $15,000 on Lucid stock, planning to hold it until, in its case. Wait, if you've lost that much money in Lucid, I could have told you how to trade that. I initially put $5,000 in Lucid, and it went down a little bit on me. And then I started trading it. Trading Lucid is one of the easiest things in the world. The biggest Fisker shareholder. You guys are seeing it. I'm the fucking boss at Fisker right now. I'm sure Henrik is about to give me a call. He knows how many shares I have. What are your thoughts on Rivian's push this week? I want to say this, everybody. I do think that Rivian and Tesla will have bad results because their margins have been squeezed to fucking death. You need to understand that. Even though I'm bullish on these companies long term, I think right now we're seeing deflation across the board. That means price cuts. Price cuts mean margin cuts. Margin cuts mean less money for the company and sometimes a negative result, probably a loss. So you got to be aware of those things. Don't just fall into the hype of everything. Do you miss any of the older cars you had? 918 GTR. I don't know why the Carrera GT I don't. Like, as much as I love driving, and I had it for a very long time. I think that is one of the cars that I've had for the longest I've ever had any other car whatsoever. I had it for 4 or 5 years. I loved every second of it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I never think about these things. The one I'll say is I see Rick with my 918, the acid green one, and I saw the car in Vegas, and I almost like started crying. I was like, I fucking miss this car. But that's the only time I've done that. With the Pagani, I had a great time. Love it. But I feel like David Lee buying it was such a that it makes me never want to touch it. Never, never, never again. But the 918, dude, and also Rick, the guy that has it right now, is awesome. So I think that combined with it makes me very happy too. But I think only the 918, the acid green one, nothing else. Nothing else. Ever interested in cars like Viper or maybe a Hellcat? Well, I had those. I already had those. Hang on. Let me read this. I am a Lambo fan, but it hurts to see all recalls on it. For the McCann's case, I believe it was just his experience with the car, but it shouldn't have come to that. It should be intuitive. What the fuck are you guys talking about here? One second. What is wrong with Alpine F1? They sell out? No. I think what you're seeing at Alpine is you saw that Ryan Reynolds invested money with a group of like big celebrities into the thing. What I'm thinking is there's two things, because it's super shitty, but when you're in a business where you're guiding the business into a certain direction and everybody in the fucking business doesn't want to listen and they think they know better than you and they want to take it in the other direction that they're going to fail, sometimes you just have to let them take the business into the failing direction, show them, and then go, all right, we did what you tried. It's fucked. Do you mind if I try what I said? And then I think that's what's happening in Alpine. I think that's what's happening with Alpine. I can't be sure, but I think that's it. Do you ever see yourself buying that S Green 918 back? No, I don't. I'm not one of those people that lives in the past, that likes memorabilia. Like I have things that remind me of certain moments, but I don't put any price on them. Like any of this shit goes, I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like the Senna was a big thing for me, because when he burned down, I really was like, wow, I really don't fucking give a shit that he burned down. Now that he fucked me up a little bit, and also the fact that everybody just fucking, and by the way, when you have the entire internet going against you, calling you an insurance fraud, scammer, or whatever it was, and then some McLaren dealers going like, this guy deserves it, and all that shit, you feel like the entire world is against you, and you don't know why you deserve that. And it's my fault for being an idiot and not just being like, as a man should. That's what I should have done. Instead of just kind of not caring anymore. But now here I am. Like those tattoos, right? No regrets, bro. Regrets. What is the best metal to buy right now? Gold and silver. I think silver has more upside long term. Have you driven the Lambo Revuelto? No. I am dying to drive it. I need to find a dealer. If you guys know of a dealer in the United States that has one, I cannot do it in Lambo Newport Beach. They told me no more driving their cars. I know that I purchased millions of dollars worth of cars there, but they were like, please get away from us. So now I need to find another place to be able to do it. And by the way, nothing bad, nothing wrong with it. It's just I understand my persona affects a lot of people in very different ways. So if you guys at any other dealership, like Danny, the thing is, I got to drive like 8 million miles to get to Danny. I'll do Danny. Do you ever see yourself buying a Koenigsegg? I don't really. I don't care so much for what they offer. Like I said, I want to buy, honestly, whenever I'm ready and we actually get our new house, wherever the fuck we end up being, we got to go try another place. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this place. I can't say it out loud because my wife is somewhere out here and I'm scared. Yeah. Whenever we get our place, I want to get a Utopia, a Pagani. I love Horatio. I really do. And yeah, I just want to support him, and I really like his cars, and I think the Utopia is one of the best looking cars, and I don't need the car to be the fastest. I got my Tesla. I already explained that to you guys. So I'm cool with that. Other than the 918 drama, what's your biggest horror story with the dealership? I have so many of them. And the thing is, the reason why people like try not to deal with me is because they're terrified. They're terrified because they think I just go and look for problems. The reality is, every time I show up somewhere and they try to take advantage of me, it's like, did I ever tell you guys, and I'm about to leave right now. Did I tell you guys about the time that Belen and I rented a house? We spent like $10,000 renting a house for like the weekend, right? We just wanted something getaway. It was like the middle of the pandemic, and we were like, I don't want to fucking be here. So I said, babe, fuck this. Let's call our friends, bring them over, and we'll rent just a big ass house by the lake and enjoy ourselves. And the day that we showed up, the house was completely trashed. Like there was cum and shit in every bed, every couch. All of the bar was like completely covered in garbage. I made stories about this. And one more time, this is at the pandemic. We don't know anything. They're telling us that people can't be in the house for 24 hours before, whatever. Clearly, those people had just left. And then when we called the company to complain about the problem, this is what I did. I called the lady and I said, hey, we just showed up at the house. It's disgusting. And there's literally shit and cum everywhere. I'm not making that up. Is there any way maybe you guys have another property that you can take us to? She's like, no, we're going to send someone to clean the house. I was like, I don't want to sleep here. I already saw the shit and the cum. Like there's no way on earth I'm paying $10,000 to sleep on shit and cum. And especially when you need to clean it and you're telling me that you're going to do it in 2 hours. So she goes, there's nothing I can do, sir. The best thing we can do is you go to dinner, we'll pay for your dinner, and by the time you get back, you can just stay in the house. And I said, this is not right. And especially now, like, we're all paranoid about this bullshit, right? We don't want to be here. I don't want other people to, like, this is not clean. I don't want it like this. Is there anything you can do for me before I go mental? And she goes, no, unfortunately, this is all I can offer. And I go, are you sure? And she goes, I am sure. And I go, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to hang up the phone with you right now. And eventually you're going to have to call me and tell me all of the great stuff that you're going to have to do for me. Are you sure you don't want to just fix it right now? And she goes, I can't. I'm sorry. I was like, okay. So I walked into the house and I filmed all of it, but making fun of it. Like I was like, of course, this is my luck. Look at the shit. Look at the cum. Look at the garbage. Look at everything. And of course, my wife is mad, blah, blah, blah. And I uploaded the pictures and I tagged them. The videos, and I tagged them on Instagram. In the middle of that, the lady calls me back and she goes, have you thought about it? Do you want right now for us to go clean it? We'll pay for your dinner. This is the last call. And I go, no. This is what's going to happen. I already booked a room at the Ritz, a penthouse room at the Ritz for me, my wife, and my dog, because my friends are coming for the weekend, right? So those guys canceled. But I already rented a penthouse at the Ritz. We're going to go there. And by the time I get to the Ritz, you're going to call me to tell me that you're going to pay for my stay at the Ritz and that you're going to get me a house. And she literally laughed and said, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. But if you want the dinner, call us back. Thank you. Hangs up. It was magnificent because the fuck do I know? But at the time that we were pulling up at the Ritz, I get a call from the owner of the entire company, which is a big company. It's not Airbnb, but it was some like a division of Airbnb. The owner almost crying, is there any way you can take this down? I don't know what to do. It's like, dude, I asked you to fucking be civil and do this right. So he goes, what can I do to make it better? And I said, it's rather simple, motherfucker. All you need to do is give me another fucking house that looks just like the one that we were wanting to get. And that's it. And pay for the Ritz because I'm staying here tonight. There's no, like, it's already late. I'm not going anywhere. And he goes, I'll pay for your hotel. I'll find you another house. I was like, great. Hang up the phone. He calls me back an hour later and goes, is there any way you can take down the videos? And I go, no. Why would I take him down? He goes, because I'm going to pay the night at the Ritz and whatnot. And I go, so? You already fucked me over in the house. You already fucked over my weekend with my wife, my friends, and everything. What are you doing to make it fucking better? He goes, just take down the stories. I was like, if I take down the stories, what are you going to do for me? And he goes, I'm already doing this. I was like, no, you're doing this because it's your fucking responsibility as a business owner to provide the best service possible. What you're doing is retarded. So he goes, I understand. I understand your point. So after the weekend was done and they paid for all of my shit, like I told them they would, and I'm sure that woman got fired as she should have. When it was all done, the guy calls me and he goes, can you make a couple stories saying that we did everything right by you? And I go, no, that costs money, dude. I'm not going to go and give you publicity for free. Are you fucking retarded? And he goes, just think about it, please. I'm like, no. It's it's the same thing that happens to me over and over and over again. And I get to the point because I am an idiot. I am a nice idiot. Like it's made me very bitter to be the way I am. And my wife tells me all the time that I shouldn't be the way I am now. But I go everywhere. I used to go everywhere smiling and I'm all like, hey guys, what can I do? And I try to be as nice as possible always. And people think, maybe not think, they see that I'm a moron and they think, oh, well, this guy's just a moron. Let me just fuck him over. Just like O'Gara Coach did when I bought my car in Beverly Hills, my Aventador, and they try to change the price afterwards. I was like, you can't change the price on something that I not only have the invoice for, that I already gave you an amount of the down payment. You can't change the fucking price by $40,000 just because you feel like it. I didn't say anything publicly for years. I think you guys are finding out right now. That was my first Aventador experience. And before that, they sold the cars that were coming as literally the Aventador that I had ordered, the original, they sold because they got more money from someone else. And then they sold the other one because they got more money from someone else. I got the third car. And then they try to change the price. And then they're like, why are you so mad at us? Why don't you want to buy cars from us? Are you fucking retarded? I go to the Porsche dealership where I got the 918. And you guys know the story with the 918. You guys don't know half the shit. Like, I literally haven't told you anything. I can do it with Porsche. I can do it with Pagani. I can do it with anyone you can imagine. Because they go, like with the GT2 RS, I go order the car, put the order in. I ask Porsche, dude, I want the car in pink. I want to match it with my Carrera GT. This is what I want to do. They say yes. Then months go by. No one replies. I have to go to this brand new dealership to order the car. At the dealership, I have someone that's dealing with me who's like the manager of the store. He goes, I'm going to deal with you because I want to give you the best service ever. The guy never picks up my calls. He never answers my emails. I finally show up to the dealership and they tell me that the guy resigned. I don't know how long ago. And I go, how come no one called me about this? Like, what the fuck is, you guys are managing this business like you're retarded. And they go, the reality is no one wants to deal with you because they're scared. I'm like, of what? I'm not crazy. I am a professional. I know how to work in a million things, but you're not going to fucking step all over me and I'm not going to say nothing. That's the only time I say shit. But if you try your best, if you do it really the best to just make it right, I'm not going to say anything. So I've had literally the craziest shit with everyone except Mercedes of Beverly Hills, except one thing. The only thing and what made me go, fuck you too, was I bought an AMG 1. I had the first order in the United States because I bothered them before they announced the car because I knew the car was coming out and whatnot. They begged me, please don't buy a $2 million Mercedes. Do you know how much money you're going to lose? I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want this car. And I said, where do I need to put the deposit? What do I need to do? They were like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. I was like, wow. It pays off to be Alejandro. Fucking finally. Months go by and I start seeing all the bullshit people getting like their trips to Germany and their cases and their whatnot. So I called the dealership and I go, guys, I want to have the experience. I want to go to Germany. I want to do these things. Let me put the money and I'll just go do it. And they go, honestly, we don't have a car for you. And I have like the ticket. I'm like, what do you mean I don't have the car from you? Here's this. You told me that I didn't have to give you a down payment, whatever. And he goes, yeah, Mercedes told us they didn't want to sell you the car because you sold your green Porsche, your green 918. I was like, are you fucking, what does that have to do with Mercedes? I've had over 100 Mercedes cars. 100. No. I've had over 100 cars and 70 of them were Mercedes. 70. And they were not the shit ones. They were the good ones. And this is what you do? Just because you sold your green 918, who the fuck are you? It's crazy. So this is why also I'm flustered, dude. I go to dealerships and they treat me like absolute horseshit, like I'm going to do something terrible to them. I'm not. And I put up with so much fucking shit and I don't say anything because I'm tired of complaining. And I won't complain anymore, even though it looks like I'm complaining right now. I'm just venting. I don't care about this anymore. This is fucking retarded. This is literally retarded. So, yeah, I don't want to deal with it anymore. This is why I don't enjoy doing this thing. And then, um, at least the normal stuff that I used to do on YouTube, I don't enjoy that because now it became like a game show of like who am I and like the clout and like they use you like a tool like um this guy's gonna bring me views like I don't care for that. I don't care for that, dude. I'm over it. I'm old. I'm doing well. I don't need this in my life. I don't. I really don't. So I'm just making my life easier with less drama. And a lot of things too. There's a big part of me that feels like I bring such a negative thing to somewhere that I try not to go. Also, that's another one. So after they fired, remember the Golden Jew got fired from McLaren because he let me drive a McLaren and film it, and I made a video saying 5 things why I refuse to buy a McLaren. But at the end, I say once you do A, B, and C, you'll get it. I talked to fucking stupid ass Tony Joseph about it. And he goes, I was so mad when you made that video. He was the CEO of North America. And I go, did you watch the video? He goes, no. I'm like, well, if you would have watched the video, you fucking idiot, you would have seen that it was not negative. He still fired the Golden Jew. So I've always had that. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So I stay the fuck away from everyone just so that I don't get him in trouble. And then I see people like, and by the way, I love Paul Saladino. I don't know if you guys know him. He's the one that got me to carnivore diet, even though he doesn't do the carnivore diet anymore. Paul Saladino goes to McDonald's, films the people giving him the McDonald's, which, by the way, they're going to get fired. And then he goes and like rants about McDonald's in front of everyone at McDonald's. Like those people are getting fired. I don't do that shit. I feel so fucking bad. I'm too hyper aware of like this. And people today are not hyper aware of this. So I'd rather just stay the fuck away. I don't want to bring any negativity into your shit. I don't want to deal with it. It's so much more fun. So yeah, that's that. Hey, don't start any shit. Don't start any shit. That's That's bullshit. There's haters. They're gonna gatekeepers. They own nothing. That's true. That's true. But I gotta say, who gives a flying fuck? I'm still Salo Biden. Now, this is why I got into racing. Well, no, I got into originally, by the way, I think I told you this last time. I really got into racing because we were doing a car show, Farghini, Buddy, and I, for Amazon and Sony. And they were like, we're going to need a Formula One part of this. So I learned Formula One because of that. And I fell in love with it. But that's why I originally got into racing. And when I met Pato, I knew a lot, but nothing like I know now. And now I'm in love with it. I think racing is one of the most underrated still sports in the world. It's so much fun. And there's so much going on. Are you going to visit Avi soon? I already did. I went to see Avi. He's doing something completely different. Completely fucking different, by the way. I'm very happy for him. He's in Beverly Hills now on Robertson. You guys can go find them. Do you guys know where Avi is? I don't want to send them people because also he might not enjoy having so many people just show up. But he's around. He's in Beverly Hills. He's doing great. I'm so happy for him. So just that. Avi got that Fisker upgrade. What do you think about Red Bull's new hypercar? I want to see how the fuck they're going to pull that off. You need servicing centers and all that stuff. I want to see who they're partnering up with, but I'm sure Newey's going to deliver something epic. At some point, I'd say this. If I had like like $300 million liquid, I would buy all of Newey's creations, and I would buy probably an RB20 too, no, an RB19, which is the Red Bull Formula One car from last year, which is the most winning car of all history. I would want to have everything that he made and put him on my wall, dude. Put him on my fucking wall. I think he's so cool. That would be one of those. Dude, the new Bugatti Tourbillon, I think it's one of the sexiest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not, I'm not exaggerating here. I think it's incredible looking, incredible. Uh, I'm very excited to see one in person. But either way, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy your holiday. Eat well, motherfuckers. Enjoy. Don't drink too much. And if you're gonna do fireworks and your name is Jason Pierre Paul, hire someone else to do it. Mexicans are pretty good with fireworks. I grew up like with fireworks. We never blew up our fingers. So please don't do that. All right, boys. Happy 4th. Have a good one. Take care. And thank you so much for watching. Fucking 3 days in a row. Look at us. Huh? It's like it's a real relationship.